The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make some allowances in this part of the base for the rubber band to sit over through this channel. So we're going to create a sketch now just on this side of that upright, just on that face there. And we will hit P to project. And I'm just going to project in these edges through here. So I should have a purple line going from the very top to the very bottom of that. I'm going to drop in a rectangle. So in line with the bottom edge, it's just going to be this sort of size. Now, if I hit horizontal vertical, we can align those two to each other. And then dimension between the purple line and this edge is going to be 3 millimeters. And then the width of this shape is going to be 5 millimeters. So the rubber band itself is 5 mil wide. It will sort of get a little bit tighter, but now the top edge of this is currently unconstrained, it's undefined. As long as it's above this point here, it doesn't really matter, but I will just put it on a constraint just to lock it to the top there. Ideally, you want all your sketches to be fully defined before you finish up. That's good practice. All right, so finish sketch, and then we're going to cut this out. So you'll have to select all three, and I'll extrude part of it that way. Where it says one side, I'm just going to hit symmetric. So just have to extrude it far enough that it's going to cut all the way through both the fillet and the upright. Okay, so now the rubber band's got room now to pass between these two faces, but we need to cut out this sort of section below. So we're going to create our sketch on this inside face through here. And I'm just going to project in this face. It might be helpful if you want to slice it. In this case, it's not giving us heaps more information. So we're going to create a line. It's going to be a construction line. And again, it's going to be randomly length for 50 mil. It is going to be 2.5 millimeters from this top edge here. 2.5. And either end, this one or this one, it is going to be half of 50. Nope, divided by 2. So all I'm doing is selecting this dimension here and dividing it by 2. Another handy, like it's a clean way of doing this part of the process, because if I do want to change the length of this line, this one will also change as well, and it will always stay in the middle. So so from here, I'm going to turn off the construction line, go with our slot again, center to center slot. It is going to go from that point to that point, which is 50 mil, and it is going to be 5 millimeters total. Now we're going to drop in a couple of lines, and they're going to go from the very end of the circle here, where that triangle pops up, straight down at the bottom, and the same on this side. Triangle, straight down to the right angle symbol. Cool. And we're going to offset this line by a little bit because we want to cut through the edge. So I'm going to create a circle here. It's going to be 7 millimeters. Sorry, 9 millimeters. And I'm going to create a line again from that point straight down to the bottom. If it doesn't automatically go black, then you might have to add that on. Tangent constraint between that line and that one. Just use the trim tool to get rid of some of the bits of that line that we won't need later on. So trim away these sections here. So it should just be like that. Do the same on this side. Now we could mirror this across, and that's probably good practice. So if you mirror things, you know that there's a fair chance that it's going to be a symmetrical sort of feature. But because it's only a couple of steps, just going to manually do it. T to trim again, trim away these features. Okay. So now we're good to finish sketch on that. And we're going to use the extrude tool and click and hold on the bottom edge and click on profile. And we're going to extrude from this shoulder across to this side. So it should be 5 mm. Let's cut extrude. And if you look underneath, you'll be able to see it's been sort of a slot cut out. We want to turn that sketch back on. Should be our last one. And we want to extrude those other 2 features. So click and hold, profile, and drag it all the way through. Where it says distance, we can go with all, hit OK. So what this has created is a little channel which the rubber band can wrap around. And we just, to wrap this up, we're just going to add some fillets to some of these edges just to make them look a little bit cleaner. So just this tiny edge here and here, these are all going to be 5 mm. The top one doesn't look like it should be 5 mm. I'm going to deselect that top one. And we might try something a bit smaller on that one. We'll go with 3 mm on that one. Okay. And that's just the fillets in this scenario there, just so that we don't sort of break the rubber band as it goes in, sort of give a smoother transition. That slot at the bottom allows the rubber band to stick in underneath and not affect our connection to the table.